No.
Was that no? So it's not hysterical.
Not representing the government here.
Oh, so no. One minute. When Pakistani soldiers are killed in what is accidental firing, accidental drone attacks, Pakistani response is not hysterical. But when Indian soldiers are butchered on the Pakistani side and beheaded, then if we ask questions, it's hysterical. So there's a slight anomaly there. Chandan Mitra is coming up next to your response. Your response to General Qureshi describing the whole reaction as hysterical.
Can I just intervene here?
I'm coming to you, sir, after Chandan Mitra.
Arnab, I don't understand why you are allowing this general this one-sided, tirade against all the grain of truth that is going on. He's making all kind of absurd allegations. He's dragging in Saurabh Kalia, our great martyr in Kargil. He is denying everything that has happened and is saying that, you see, Pakistan are doodh ka dhula hua, as they say. They are absolutely gentle people. They don't kill, they don't maim, they don't do anything. And the Indians are the aggressors. As if we beheaded the body of our own soldiers and just to show them up in the international community. Now, I think, you see, whether they were beheaded, mutilated, whatever, is irrelevant. They have committed a heinous crime, and this is part of Pakistan's strategy to try and prove to the world that Indian troops are barbarians. Whereas the fact is, the world knows what kind of barbarism the Pakistan government and those on the payroll, like Hafiz Saeed, who was present in POK. I mean, I really would like to ask that who commands the Pakistan army and the Pakistani regulars? Hafiz Saeed or General Kayani? On whose orders do they work? Hafiz Saeed gave certain instructions. We have read in the media what kind of speeches he made while he was in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir a few days ago, and incited the troops and the so-called irregulars, who are troops in a different uniform, to kind of go and act. So what are they talking about? And I don't understand the purpose of this, the exchange, because they are masters of deceit and untruth. They are weaving a web of untruth for the last 3 days.
No, but we are allowed. Chandan Mitra.
And respond firmly, and that is all that matters.
Truly, Tariq Azim, you want to come in? 1 second. But before that, Najam Rafiq wanted to come in. Najam, let me remind you of what Hina Rabbani said after NATO troops killed some Pakistani soldiers. She said, enough is enough. Our government will not tolerate any incident of spilling even a single drop of our soldiers' blood. We cannot compromise on our sovereignty. Yes. What makes you feel?
Look, you can't compare.
What makes you feel in this case you will be allowed to get away with it?
They are totally separate and out of context. You are talking. We are having a little mini war here in the studios. We have more firing going on here than at the LOC.
So you'd be surprised at how much firing there has been on the Pakistani side on the LOC yesterday. Please answer my question.
We cannot and have not even been able to determine the facts, what they are, what really actually happened.
So you are talking like the NATO spokesperson spoke. No, you are talking like the NATO spokesperson spoke when Hina Rabbani got angry.
The soldiers have been firing. The soldiers have been firing at each other on the LOC just to get the bloody fruit of the trees. They are soldiers, and they would do that. They greet every day each other. They greet each other with abuses. All right,
sir, I think
salams, and they abuse each other. But they cannot. They help but be soldiers. And of course, if
what are you justifying? No, what are you trying to say? 1 minute. 1 minute. I don't understand, Najam Rafiq.
What I fail to understand is why at this point in time everybody is concerned about this incident, which has been a regular feature for the last 40 years.
Sir, I must say, Najam Rafiq, let me tell you this. No, Najam Rafiq, this kind of barbarism may be a regular feature in Pakistani life. In civilized society, it is not. It is not. So don't run it down. Don't play it down.
Soldiers, don't know what the limits are. No, they will not.
Najam Rafiq, don't play it down. You are not answering my question.
They are honorable soldiers.
I am asking you again. Why are you dodging my question? All your...
Look, we are not dodging
No,
your
I'm
questions.
asking
What
you a
we are
question a
saying
second
is
time today.
That we are not, we
No, I
cannot
will ask
even
you.
determine the
Take my
facts.
question
We are
a second.
not even sure
Najam
what
Rafiq.
actually transpired and what actually happened.
Najam Rafiq, tell me, we are responding like we should, like your foreign minister had when your soldiers were butchered by NATO forces. Then you went crying. You whined. You said you will call off the diplomatic relations. You said it was an attack on your sovereignty. You know, you can say today, I'm telling you,
Look, if,
you can say today...
Look, if you are going to be comparing with this with that NATO thing,
Why?
I mean, how are we going to, approach our relationship? We don't even have a relationship. We are trying to build one. We have wars on the LOC. We have wars on the cricket ground. We have wars on television, in the studios.
I mean, you need to...
When are we going to find the direction to talk in a realistic
Najam Rafiq, I've given you two opportunities. I've given you.
It is time.
I also want to share right now the information. The information we have is that the military intelligence intercepted a call between Pakistani army units congratulating each other after this incident happened on January 8th. I'd now like to get in Tariq Azim, former information minister.
Why don't you play this on the television and let us all hear this?
Tariq Azim.
Arnab, I think we are not getting anywhere if we are going to debate like this.
We are not.
1 minute, Najam Rafiq. Najam Rafiq, 1 minute.
Suggestion made.
Listen to the other
please,
side.
can you control your people in the studio, please?
So
can you please control them?
Najam Rafiq.
I mean, can I say something?
Najam Rafiq is not in my studio. He's in Islamabad. But Najam Rafiq, a request comes for you from Lahore to please allow Tariq Azim to speak. Go ahead, Tariq Azim.
Arnab, let's go back and see what has happened. There was an aggression initiated by the Indian Army. That's a fact.
Completely wrong.
On the night of the 5th and the 6th at 1 a.m. in the morning, it was an unprovoked attack, physical attack on a Pakistani checkpost in Haji Pir area.
Sir, you are wrong.
One Naik Aslam died.
Sir, you are wrong.
Fact. Okay.
Which night?
It was an unprovoked attack. You will say I'm wrong. When Indians fire is accidental. When Pakistanis fire, these are barbarians.
So no, let's debate on fact. Let's debate on fact.
This is not fair.
Let's debate.
Today you martyred another Pakistani. Today Mahiuddin was martyred in Pakistan today.
Let's settle this.
This is not fair. If you want to get to the bottom of this, we have seriously. No, listen to me, Arnab, please. When we have said that let's get a third party, an independent party,
what
United Nations, observers are on both sides of the border.
So
let's involve them. Let's see what is going to be done.
1 minute. You see, Tariq Azim, let me tell you one thing. No, 1 second. You know that the United Nations has turned you down. It's rejected you. The United States has rejected you. Nobody trusts you. Nobody believes you. Pakistan's act of crying wolf is known, internationally exposed and rejected every time.
And
why are you and on the incident of Haji Pir, right? And on the incident of Haji Pir,
India. So why doesn't India ask the United Nations to investigate the incident?
1 second. On the incident on Haji Pir, let me tell you, it was not an isolated act. Pakistan has been responding to firing in this region repeatedly, and it is completely within our right to respond. On October 16, 2012, you can check your facts and call your friends in the Pakistani army. 3 civilians, including a 15-year-old boy and a 20-year-old girl, were killed in Charunda in completely unprovoked firing by the Pakistani troops. Check your facts. A 9th grade student was killed.
Well,
you must.
And then there are facts.
Fact. 1 minute. I am presenting.
There is a firing across the line of control is accidental always time on Indian side. When Pakistanis fire, then of course is unprovoked.
That's complete.
This is totally rubbish.
So no, I have just contradicted you.
You fire to provide cover to these jihadis to cross over. You fire deliberately.
Have you registered these?
At all. We retaliate.
You registered these violations with the Military Observer Group?
I'd like to now. 1 second.
The Military Observer Group.
Maruf wants to come in, and then I'm going to General Nirvay.
Why should we?
Yes, Maruf.
It is in black and white.
Let me.
It is in black and white. Why should we oppose third party?
Maruf to Tariq Azim.
Okay, sir, with respect, sir, I mean, you are trying to bring calm into the situation, but if you were on the Indian side, you would not feel so calm about it. But let me also put a few facts in front of you, sir. Isn't it true that this is a strategic ploy on the part of the Pakistan army to again raise the issue to the international level and get the UN or some third party to move in the bilateral relationship, which India has made it known, and it has been agreed, and it has also been approved by the United States that nobody else should intervene. These are bilateral issues between the two, post the Shimla Accord, and let it be there. The second point is, isn't it true that there is now, unfortunately, a great disconnect between the military commanders and people at senior level and the posts and the men on the ground? I have it on record, sir, in conversations I've had with Pakistani officers abroad, that they envy the kind of camaraderie and bonding that Indian troops and Indian officers enjoy vis-a-vis the kind of situation that exists. So there could be, let's be realistic, sir, there could be a possibility that the Pakistani post commander or whoever there has not been able to control anymore the vast influence and clout the jihadis now enjoy.
Which is the story all across
from Rawalpindi to go ahead and do what they want. And this is clearly a symptom of a larger problem. You must address that. And most importantly, you are saying that Indians escalated the situation, sir. There is evidence now available on both sides that the firing of artillery started from the area near Haji Pir once the Indian unit decided to mend the fences which were tampered with, the border fencing, and that firing led to a response by an Indian infantry battalion, wherein your unit, Baluch unit, took advantage of your advantageous position further down on the LOC and did what they did against people who were carrying out regular routine military duty of patrolling, which both armies are expected to do on a relatively active border. Now, can you deny any of these points, sir?
I can only say that Indians are very good story writers. No wonder Bollywood is doing so well.
Sir, I think you are denigrating what happened, and I think you are not being serious in your response. A very serious question has been put to you, Tariq Azim. I want to get in General Nirbhay Sharma at this stage, former co-commander.
I mean, everything that you do, is excellent. You are just above board. No firing. Every time a firing takes place, it is accidental. And everything that is being done is done from the Pakistani side.
There are only two options.
That is diversity of what goes on. This is not true.
Sir, there are only
you know it is not true.
Tariq Azim, you have said, and one minute, the brigadier right at the start of the program tried to bring in a third party. And it is a well-known fact right now, I can prove to you again and again, General Qureshi, it is a well-known fact, even when you were military advisor to Musharraf. You know what you did in Kargil. You know what you did in Kargil.
And you are the one presenting
and
all
we
the
also
arguments.
know what you did in East Pakistan.
I would like to
we know what you did in East Pakistan. Anab, on your show, live show in New Delhi, I showed you international media which claimed how Indian army penetrated into East Pakistan dressed as Mukti Bahini. I showed you on the live television in New Delhi. You remember that?
Tariq Azim, admit here today what the brigadier in Karachi has admitted a long time back, that the irregulars which have been under the control of the Pakistani army are either not or are working under the instruction of the Pakistani army.
Do you remember me showing you original paper, the Times of London, saying Indian army dressed as Mukti Bahini entering East Pakistan to fight Pakistani army. Do you remember that? I did that in New Delhi. I brought the newspaper with me.
No, I think we need to
General Nirbhay Singh is coming in. 1 second,
the main issue.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I feel like we are not on a television show, but in a courtroom, being questioned.
Najam Rafiq, it is probably time for Pakistan to be taken to an international courtroom, but please answer the questions here today. General Nirbhay Singh, go ahead.
You should do that.
General Nirbhay Singh, go ahead, please.
Arnav, I think we need to get back to the main issue, and I find in the last half an hour we have talked about everything else but the actual issue. And permit me to make 3-4 very quick points which are very relevant to what is happening today. And it's a very serious matter. We cannot allow it to be digressed and going back into the history and accusations. First of all, there is no doubt in anybody's mind that these two soldiers of Indian Army were decapitated and their bodies were mutilated. So that is not an issue. The point is, why did it happen and what should we do about it and what should Pakistan do about it? As far as Pakistan is concerned, I would like to remind the listeners and everybody that when we talk of Pakistan, we are talking about two Pakistans. We are talking about the people of Pakistan and we are talking about the Pakistan Army. And I think it is Pakistan Army which need to be addressed in this case as to why Pakistan Army has done this. Pakistan Army has been, as Maruf brought out, has been misrepresenting things, and it is because of this that Pakistan has come to grief again.
One second, Najam Rafiq. Najam Rafiq, 1 minute. Najam Rafiq, can you hear me? 1 minute, Najam Rafiq. Najam Rafiq, 1 minute. Najam Rafiq.
But we are not.
No, Najam Rafiq, can you hear me? 1 minute. Najam Rafiq, you can hear me, right? This is Arnab Goswami here from our studios in Mumbai. Can you hear me, Najam Rafiq? I would then request you, Mr. Najam Rafiq, with all the respect which you totally deserve, that since the General did not interrupt you when you were speaking, please do not interrupt him when he's making his point. Thank you very much. General, go ahead.